acknowledged that Obama policy hadn't done so well in this portfolio. And so the two presidents seem to have a good communication on that subject, but really just to agree with each other that we have no great current policy and no great options, at least as far as one can discern from the outside about their conversation. So then Mattis goes, of course, well, he was, I guess, in Korea about the same time or just before, and he, I think, had a good visit with the ROK, and you all will be following this issue, of course, very closely in this context, and we'll have a discussion about it this afternoon. But he reaffirmed the case for FAD. He reaffirmed the fundamental importance of the alliance, the American commitment to South Korea, which President Trump had cast some doubt about when he was a candidate. He maybe, I think as a candidate, he didn't appreciate just how much the ROK does take its defense obligations seriously. Most of you know that the ROK spends about 2.5% of its GDP on its military, well above the NATO standard that we criticize our European and Canadian allies for not meeting. Of course, that same standard doesn't officially apply in Asia, but it's still worth noting that South Korea has a very good military and takes its own security very seriously. And I would say the U.S.-ROK alliance, in military terms, is probably our single most impressive and powerful alliance. If by alliance you mean actual collaboration and a sort of a parallel effort by the two sides. Obviously, the U.S.-Japan alliance is very important, but it's more of an asymmetric alliance. It's not as much of a shoulder-to-shoulder kind of fight as we say in the Afghanistan context. One of the famous expressions in Afghanistan, the whole shoulder-to-shoulder motto that NATO forces use there. We have the same kind of solidarity on the ground in preparing for possible conflict in Korea with our South Korean allies, in a way that we really don't with Japan. And even with our European allies, each one of them has allowed their military forces to shrink to the point where I would put the U.S.-ROK alliance on an even higher footing in many ways than even the U.S.-UK or U.S.-German alliance.